So what happened to these 8 brave men after the Battle of Flers? Well, we've now actually come to Flers, and behind me you see the Flers monument, and for this particular section of the video I'm actually going to read the narrative so I get everything right in respect for those 8 guys. Later in November 1916, in other actions, Harold Mortimer got gassed twice. He refused medical treatment and remained at duty. He was mentioned in dispatches for gallant and distinguished services in the field. In June 1917, he was relieved of his post because of poor health. He left the army in early 1920. Harold lived on until 1967, when he died aged 76. Very little is known about Sergeant H. Davis, except that he was discharged due to wounds in November 1917 and awarded the Silver War Badge. No further records have been found about him. Fred Hobson remained with tanks but must have been badly injured in the actions of late 1917, I beg your pardon. It was recorded he suffered 22 wounds and was discharged from the army in February 1918. He died aged 39 in 1972. Harry Leet died of wounds received during the Battle of Bullecourt on the 11th of April 1917. His grave was never identified and his name is commemorated on the Arras Memorial. Albert Smith remained with tanks and survived the war. He was awarded the military medal for, quote, "for good work during operations on the right of the Daredevil Wood on the 15th of September 1916 when serving with D Company." This probably refers to him volunteering and successfully retrieving machine guns from abandoned tanks in no man's land. Arthur Day also survived the war. After Flers he remained with tanks but was wounded in October 1917. He was evacuated to the UK where he was medically downgraded. In December 1919 he was awarded a 20% disability pension for deafness worth 8 shillings a week. The adopted 18-year-old Ewood Dodson was injured in the leg and face in another action 2 weeks after Flers. He recovered and went back to tanks. However, on the 9th of April 1917, still only 18 years old, he was killed in action. His grave site is unknown. His name is commemorated also on the Arras Memorial. After Flers, Albert Wateridge remained with tanks and was promoted to Lance Corporal. In May 1917 he received the military medal. The citation reads, "When this driver's tank was in a deep crater in Bullecourt, his skillful driving under heavy fire from armor-piercing bullets enabled the tank commander to extricate himself and continue in action. The tank, owing to casualties in personnel, was brought back to starting point and the wounded crew were replaced. This driver, however, continued at his post during the succeeding operations and was in action for 7 hours." Albert was later promoted to sergeant. He was discharged in May 1919 as, quote, "no longer physically fit for war service." He was awarded an army pension, but his health deteriorated over the next 10 years and he died in hospital aged 46 on the 15th of July 1929. So we've now moved away from Flers, and I thought I couldn't really end this video without going to try and find the names of those 2 lads in the tanks whose graves were never found. So we've moved here to the fantastic and very moving memorial at Arras to try and find them. So come on, let's go and try and find the 2 lads that didn't go back. So, after searching through all the many thousands of stones names here at the Memorial Terrace, we finally found the list of names from the Tank Corps. And indeed, if you look at the list, there we have Ewart Dodson, and there in the column next to him, Harry Leet. The two crewmen from the Daredevil tank, the very first tank to go into action, but these two lads never came home. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Bye bye.